So that is how we fetch. So this time around, let's just say we are done and we want to exit it the way we exit. And this time we want to fetch again, and we still want to fetch pairs in PancakeSwap, which is our exchange one. So we wait for it and we select exchange one, and we want to continue from last time we fetch. Okay, yeah. So remember last time we fetched 10 twice. So now where do we want to start? We want to start at index 20 because we stop 10 is 20. That's where we stop. We stop at 20 and we want to start at 20. Remember in index, when the way computer count number index 20, the stop at 20 actually stop at 19 index because computer start from 0. So we have to begin from 20. So we enter again. But this time around that we are fetching, let's say we want to, so this time around that we want to start from here. Let's say we want to go 150 steps. So we want to fetch 150 pairs out from PancakeSwap, the blockchain, at a time. So how many times do we want to fetch 150 pairs? Let's go ahead and say we want to fetch these pairs like 8 times, so we want to fetch 150 pairs from PancakeSwap 8 times. So we click on enter. You see it fetch 100 pairs, 150 pairs. It fetch total of 300 pairs because 150 times 2 is 300. So it goes telling you 600 pairs have been successfully fetched from PancakeSwap. So it's going from pagination to fetch the pairs. So actually I tried going above 150 and I always see that I do get gas limit error because of what I explained before of getting, before it will fetch all the pairs, new block has already been formed. So the maximum is I've tried is 150. Sometimes 200 my go, sometimes it might not go, but the maximum I've always used is 150 steps. You see, we decided to do this 8 times, and if you count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, you actually see that it goes 8 times to fetch 150 pairs, and the total pairs it fetched is 1200 pairs. 1200 pairs because 150 times 8. Okay, so 150 times 8 is actually 1200. So because of that, so now remember this is how many pairs we fetch, and when we want to start fetching pairs again, we will have to start from these pairs we fetch 1200. But remember we already fetched 20, so we will add the 20 here. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I will click on enter and then exit, start again to fetch pairs. Okay, so I am going to select the exchange one as the pair, as the exchange I want to fetch, and yes, I want to continue from where I stopped last time. Okay, which index do I want to start from? Remember the last pair we fetched 1200 pairs, and we already fetched 20 previously. So where do I want to start? I want to start from 1220 because that's how many pairs have been fetched before. So that's where I want to start. I will click on enter, and how many steps do I want to go? I want to go 150 steps. That means in every one loop fetch 150 pairs. click on enter. Then how many loop times do I want to go? I might decide to go 100 loop times, or how many times, but in the case of this video, let me use 10 loop times. So I'll click on enter again. Let's see how it fetch pairs this time. It shows that 150 pairs fetch, 300 pairs fetch. So I'm going to pause the video and allow it to fetch till the end. Okay, so it's completed the 10 loops that we selected. And how many pairs are we able to fetch on this loop? We are able to fetch 1500 pairs, because 150 times 10, that we go 10 loops, is 1500. So remember previously that we started in this index because we fetched 1220 pairs before. So we are going to add this with this number of pairs we fetch. So we are going to say 1220 pairs plus 1500 pairs, and you are going to see that the total pairs that we have been able to fetch. Let me clear this at this moment. Let me clear this. Where's my pen? Oh, okay. So you are going to see that 100, sorry, I used to say 100. It's not 100 actually. I always want to say 1220 pairs that we fetch first, plus 1500 pairs that we are now fetching, is now total to 2720 pairs. So we are able to fetch 2720 pairs from PancakeSwap. So whenever we are going back to fetch pairs again, I am going to click on enter and then exit. Fetch pairs. Guess where we are going to start? Since we already fetched the pairs, and this is the numbers of pairs we fetched so far, so we are going to start from this index, and we are going to be using pagination in that way to fetch all the exchanges that we are going to have. So which starting index we are going to start? 720. So we are going to start from 720, and we still want to go 150 steps, and we still, how many loop counts? Let me just go 4 loop counts. Okay, and we keep fetching like that, and we add up to the previous. So what I want to point out here is this: when you are fetching pairs, you will get to a pair that will throw an error, some weird error that you don't even know. The reason why there's that error is because the contract is not, maybe it was just a test contract, or maybe a demo contract that was just developed without having the total ERC20 standards. So in that case, it will throw an error. The smart contract will throw an error. So if you have an error while fetching your pairs, and you make sure that you always use the maximum of 150 steps, because sometimes if you go beyond this step, you might have gas error. So if you see that your step that you are using is 150 and you have an error while fetching pairs, what you will have to do is just to skip some index. If you started from index 2000, sorry, I always say 2720 index, and you see that it fetched the first 150, fetch the 300, and reaching to fetch this second one, it throws an error. What you have to do is just add 300 to this, and then add extra 100 to skip 100 pairs. Maybe you can add less to skip until you keep adding to skip some of the pairs until the error is gone. So because you will have to skip the token that is throwing that error. So that is it, has been said. And for you to fetch other pairs, let me just do a demo example in the next video to come on fetching other exchanges. So let me pause this video right here and do a video in other exchanges.